Indiana and Washington. Washington took care of the Bulls, nice and easy, no problem. That team's got a lot of problems themselves. We just talked about Indiana. I think Washington's going to win this, and I don't think it's going to be that difficult. I think this is going to be like a 6-game series, and they're young, they're hungry, they're rested, and Indiana's just a mess. And even if they're going to have a little momentum coming out of 7,
I agree with you. I think the Wizards are just flat out a better team.
Yeah.
This Bradley Beal kid
is
good. For real.
Guy can shoot.
He is for real. And yes, he can shoot, he can defend, but what I'm most impressed by is his composure and poise down the stretch. The young Wizards made all the right plays down the stretch. They didn't collapse like you would expect a young team to do. So I really like watching that team. Nene. What? I mean, I know he's talented, but he's playing out of his mind.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. He could disappear very easily. As quickly as he appears, he disappears. He has all the skills to be a 20-10 guy, and he just never is. I think he shot something like 43% this season. I mean, that's incredibly low for a guy that size.
In the playoffs, he shot a lot better. So between Gortat and Nene, they have a very strong front line. And Trevor Ariza, I think, was the original Paul George, in the sense that they're both excellent outside shooters, lockdown defenders. When I say outside shooter, I mean just a spot-up three-point shooter. Whose games evolved. They're extremely athletic. Ariza never reached it to the next level that everyone expected George to reach, and George, I think, has reached that level. So he's but I think they're very comparable players. Ariza has championship experience. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup with those two. But the backcourt of Wall and Beal, I think they're fantastic. I think they're much better than George Hill and Lance Stevenson.
Do they run the risk of being a little too young to win this series? You know what I mean? Like, you win this, now you go to the Eastern Conference Finals against the Heat, you probably get clobbered, and then you've almost peaked a little bit too soon. Like, you almost need to lose this series so that next year you've had
That's a good point.
You know. Because that
goes
goes to what you were talking about before.
I don't know who's going to win, okay? I don't know who's going to win this series between Pacers and the Wizards. I think the Wizards are a better team. I think they play better. But their lack of experience might, expose them this series. But if they win easily against Indiana, that wouldn't surprise me in the least. Because they're a good, solid team. And they're well coached.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going Wizards in 6.
I'm going Wizards in 6 also.
The Miami Heat, have you heard of these guys? They're okay. They're playing the Brooklyn Nets, and, I think it's sort of what we were saying before about Brooklyn. You never know what's going to happen. They could lose 3 games by 30, but then win all the 1-point games and get a 7-game series out of this thing. Miami is extremely well-rested. They're ready to roll.
I think this is a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you don't even think they'll pull out just one Paul Pierce buzzer beater?
No, that's the gentleman's sweep.
The gentleman's sweep. Right. Okay. Yeah. You give them one just...
Because if you just sweep them, you're a bit of a dick. But if you let them win one game, you're a gentleman. But everyone knows that you had the series in hand and it was going to be a sweep. But just let them have one. For
you know what? If they win 2, are you being extra gentlemanly?
No, that means it was a real series.
That was a real series. All right. Well, I'm gonna go Nets in 2. Do we have anything to add about the Heat? I mean, the pieces are all there. They know how to do this.
Yeah. I mean, as long as Wade stays healthy, I don't see them losing to the Nets. It seems like they have this on lockdown.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everyone will say, but they lost 4 times to the Nets. Yeah.
It doesn't. That stuff
matter.
Simply doesn't mean anything once you get to the playoffs. This probably will be the funnest series. San Antonio and Portland. So now we can talk about Damian Lillard a little bit. That was an incredible series also. 2 fun teams. I know you're not big on Houston, and there's all kinds of messes, and there's a reason that they lost. Clearly, Portland, it's really the first time I watched them sort of in an extended way all year. They've got everything. I mean, it's all there for them. They've got the right role players. They've got the shooter. Lillard is way mature beyond his years. You've got Aldridge, who is just unbelievable. The guy looks like he's playing with children. You know what I mean? When he gets out there and he just, he starts dribbling backwards and you're like, where's he going? Where's he going? And then he pulls up or he makes the move. I mean, I think they've got a great team. And this is going to be a great series.
LaMarcus Aldridge, if you can recall, he was drafted by the Bulls.
Incredible.
And they traded him for Tyrus Thomas? Yeah, exactly. We can't remember the guy's name.
Tyrus Thomas.
Tyrus Thomas, that's right.
Who's out of the league.
Yeah, so LaMarcus Aldridge, I'm so impressed with him, not because Well, because he's not overwhelming his opponents with his physicality. He's not like the super athletic guy who's just going to the basket and just jamming it. He has turned into this incredible Karl Malone-like outside shooter where he just doesn't miss. He's awesome. And so far everyone's anointing him as a playoffs MVP so far. Yeah. But I think it's still Lillard. I think Lillard is a soul and the backbone of that team. He is so calm and so poised.
Incredibly calm.
Yeah, and it's no accident that he hits so many game-winning shots at the buzzer. He wants to take the shot, and he makes the shot. And even his, demeanor after he makes it, I mean, yeah, he celebrates a little bit, but he doesn't go insane.
He expected to hit that shot.
He expected to hit that shot.
And if you watched it, my eye was on him the whole time because, of course, you expect him to shoot it. And we talked about this earlier. But, yeah, they didn't play great defense. Parsons needed to look around the other way and come around to play deep. But everything about that, his body language, he hit it, and then it was like, yeah, I should have hit that. Let's move on. This game shouldn't have been this close. Let's move on. And I think that bodes very well for them. I think this is going to be a great series. I
agree. I think this is an excellent series. I love both teams. Yeah. I can't wait to see how it plays out. I think they're both well coached. The Spurs have experience, but I think Portland might be more talented. I don't know. I mean, Lillard is so good right now.
I mean, that Lillard, so you got Lillard, Tony Parker, fantastic matchup. And then you have Aldridge and Duncan. Yeah. I mean, it's the sort of changing of the guards. Yeah. I think this is going to be a great series. I see as a Game 7 here. And
I think the wild card is Ginobili.
He always is.
If Spurs get the good Ginobili, I think they squeak this out. If they get the bad Ginobili, I think they lose.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go. I've hedged myself throughout this conversation. I'm going to do something crazy, and I'm going to say Portland in 7. On the road.
That's a crazy pick. I'm going to go Spurs in 7. Yeah. But my heart is with the Blazers. Yeah. I love that team.
I have a feeling that maybe having to go 7 against Dallas did bang them up enough that they're going into this limping a little bit. Portland has a couple extra days, youth and all that, so we shall see. And then the final second-round game is the Clippers and Oklahoma City, opening up in Oklahoma City. We went to a Clippers-Oklahoma City game like the week before the season ended. Mm-hmm. And, there's something about watching Durant live that really is incredible because the size, and you can just see him. He can do everything, and he can dribble like a point guard and all that. This is also going to be a great series. We got a bunch of good second-round series.
I think it's a great series. I think Clippers win it in 6. I think it's the coaching. I think Doc Rivers will out-coach the hell out of Scotty Brooks. There will be some matchup issues. I don't know who can stick with Durant. It's going to be largely Matt Barnes. He's going to be in foul trouble most of the series. If Chris Paul is healthy, that's a big advantage. But Russell Westbrook is so big and so strong and so relentless towards the basket. That's another issue. Yeah. Talent-wise, I think
there's a lot of talent on that court.
I mean, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Serge Ibaka, DeAndre Jordan, Westbrook, and Durant. Those 6 players.
That's a lot.
That's probably 6 out of the top 25.
Yeah. Do you think there's any, the Donald Sterling stuff, does any of that stick around with the Clippers? Does it motivate them? Does it distract them? Is it even an issue anymore now that they won the series this all broke on?
I think it's a slight advantage to them having gone through it and coming out of it for the better. I think they're closer. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter so much. I mean, the NBA over a 7-game series, feeling really good about your teammates doesn't necessarily help.
Yeah. Is that stuff all the analyst stuff, do you think? When they always talk about the distractions and all that, I mean, we play basketball, we know, like how often when you're in the game you may be distracted until the moment the tip-off, but then once it starts, you really do get that out of your head. Not that I'm comparing us to these guys.
Right. Yeah, I largely agree. I think, so like the day that the news broke, I think they're clearly distracted. They didn't go through their normal routine. They had to have an extra meeting or whatever. That kind of stuff, because NBA players are such creatures of habit, I think being thrown off your rhythm and off your routine, that hurts. Mm-hmm. But once the game starts, you don't think about that distraction. But the fact that you didn't go through your proper routine, that does impact it in a negative way. But that's over with. So I think going forward, it's not.
I'm gonna go Clippers in 7. I think you said 6.
Clippers in 6.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 7. I think it's gonna take them one more. I think they can do it on the road. I think Durant will just drag these guys. I do agree with you on the coaching thing, but I think he's just going to drag them to 7, and we'll see what happens.